far about you guys being able to head back to Australia. So, congratulations.
Oh, mate, it's just been so painful. The whole weight thing and the false starts and postponements and I won't pretend it hasn't taken its toll on us because we're so friggin' excited to get there in the first place. And it's pretty much we're 2 years behind schedule, but boy, we're excited. We just can't wait. We can't wait.
So how have you taken those setbacks? Because I know for us it's been disappointing every time we hear that a tour's happening and then it gets taken back away, but that must be tenfold for you guys in the band. How has that felt for you every time you've received that message saying, sorry guys, the tour's off again?
It's a giant kick in the nuts, but you can't do anything about it, and we're not alone. Most other bands on the planet are in the same position. I've seen some really cool bands fall over during this whole COVID thing because they just haven't got the will to carry on, or there's medical segregation in the band, and I'm not going to play with that guy. So I think it's been really, really tough on music folk and not just the bands, but everyone else in the industry, the crew and the hire companies, and so no one really knew what the next step was going to be, and we all just had to kind of wait it out, Dave. So it was, you just got to sit back, suck it up, and then hope for the best.
Yeah. How important was that for you guys to kind of stay positive, and how did you go about staying positive?
I can't speak for everyone, but I mean, personally, listening to music, playing more guitar, writing, that's got me through. I've got a motorbike I love to ride. I'm in a club and we go out and do fundraisers and big rides around the countryside, so that's definitely helped my sanity. But everyone's got their coping strategies, and Jenny's gone out and got some qualifications behind her, and Nell's been working full-time pretty much, and Nick's been working full-time, so we're all finding time still to write music, and that's the main thing. But everyone's certainly had their times where it's like, man, this is tough.
Yeah.
But we got the light at the end of the tunnel, man, and we're coming. Come hell or high water, we're going to be there.
Definitely. Now, I was there the night in Melbourne where you guys opened for Miles Kennedy, and it felt like that was the night that Devilskin really imprinted on Australia. A lot of people that were there that night that were sitting around me were like, who the hell are these guys? Like, they just instantly fell in love with you. Do you fondly look back at that tour now of Australia and think how important that was to your careers here in Australia?
Oh yeah, man, yeah, totally, 100%. And that was exactly what we were looking for, basically, and for the Aussie audience by getting on the back of some sweet tour like that. And Slash and the crew was so good to us, really, really good. And that the Aussie tour happened because they came to New Zealand a few years earlier, and Slash's sound tech got really crook. A guy called Quake, and he's been with Slash since the Snakepit days, so they're best buds, and not only is he a front of house sound tech, but he was also the tour manager. And so they were doing two shows, one in our hometown here in Hamilton and one in Wellington. We were opening for both, and Quake got really sick and ended up going to hospital, and they had to carry on the tour without him. And so myself and Mel were going up to hospital every day, and we told his crew and Slash and the guys, we says, hey man, it's our hometown, we'll take his bags, because we were in Wellington, they had all his luggage and stuff. We said, look, give us his bags and we'll go visit him in hospital, make sure he's looked after and stuff like that. And just we got on so good with this guy Quake. He's lovely. We sit down and take him grapes and blimmin' stick mags or whatever, and he just sit there and tell us all these amazing stories of touring the world with Slash. He's such a lovely guy, but he was really grateful. He goes, man, I'm a stranger in a strange land, and you guys, thanks so much for making me feel welcome and not lonely here. And you do it for anyone, right? You do it for anyone. And he put the word back to Slash's camp and says, man, we've got to look after these guys, let's take them to Australia. And so that's how that came about. And so we already had a really good rapport with them, and their crew were freaking awesome to us, just lovely people. And we knew that they'd have massive audiences. So, yeah, for us, we're riding into Aussie on the pig's back, we was just so stoked. It was the same when we toured Europe with Hailstorm. You know, the shows were sold out before we were added to the bill, and we were the only opening act. And so it was gift week for us too. So we were playing all these Hailstorm shows. The room's already packed when we go on stage, and once they hear Jenny sing, they're in love with her. You know, so it was
Do you actually, from the stage, do you actually see that moment when they do fall in love with you guys? Like, is there a moment when the crowd seems to shift?
Yeah, man, you can feel the energy in the crowd, definitely. And you know, it's like in our early days of playing gigs, and you know, there'd be a bit where Jenny roars in the song. You know, people would come up to Nail and I afterwards and say, "Hey, you guys, man, when you did that death metal growl, that was epic." You know, we're like, "Dude, it's not us, it's Jenny." You know, and so we make a point now of stepping back from the microphones every time she roars, so everyone knows it's Jenny, and just watching people's jaws drop is pretty cool.
Awesome. So how do you approach this tour differently now that you're the headliner? Do you approach it a little bit differently?
Yeah, of course. I mean, whether we're opening for anyone or doing our own headline show, I like to think that we give it, you know, 100% every time. But obviously, having our own show under our own control and stuff this time, and not playing in massive arenas and Slash and stuff like that, you know, we're back to grassroots sort of gigs, and it's really exciting for us. We've got some good friends of ours, Shepherd's Rain, going to accompany us on the tour, and man, they're just outstanding. You know, such a great band. We did a tour of New Zealand with them, and we just went, man, we've got to take these guys to Australia because they're going to freaking love them. Really good. Yeah,
tell us a little bit about those guys, because I actually, heading into this interview, I sat down and started to take a little bit of a listen to them on Spotify. Tell us a little bit about them, because they sound amazing.
Dude, they're so amazing. They have this just incredible presence, the stage presence, right? They're huge Polynesian fellas, and they've got massive afros, and they wear boar's tusk necklaces and black, and they just look imposing as all hell. And then you hear the music, and it's like Gojira, Samoan Gojira. There you go. They've got the Samoan drums, the patu, and a lot of that Samoan influence and Polynesian influence in their music, but the metal is all hell, and shit, they're good. They're so good.
Awesome.
That's why we're bringing them, man, because we believe in them 100%.
Cannot wait to...
check out. They got a couple of very cool videos worth checking out.
Awesome. I'll check them out as well, and I cannot wait to be able to see them to open for you guys. But we talked a little bit about approaching the shows a little bit differently. How excited are you, though, about being able to play in front of audiences that are 100% there for you? That must be something that you're looking forward to, because Aussie audiences are known as the craziest audiences in the world.
Yeah, 100%. And you know, Aussie's the home of good hard rock too. You know, I grew up listening to Rose Tattoo and Heaven, and Mortal Sin and bands like that, and it's always been like a mecca of, you know, your Aussie rock and metal fans know their shit. You know, and so you got to be on top of your game. Yeah, the band's got to be good. We've got to be, you know, all eyes on the ball and just delivering the best show that we can get, because the Aussie audience are discerning, you know.
Yeah.
They don't want to see any crap, and it's all, we've had such a good time over there and had such a good response, and that's why it's been so frustrating not to be able to get back until now.
Yeah.
But we know the energy of the Aussie crowds, and you know, it's a big test for us, because we're off our own bat now, so the people have to be there to see us. So we're quite happy just to start all over again, and let's re-establish contact in as many Aussie towns as we can.
Definitely. Now, the world is opening back up again, so what are your plans outside of the Australian tour this year? What do you guys got planned for the rest of the year?
We'll be coming back to New Zealand after the Australian tour and work on recording. We're going to try and get an EP release out by October is our plan, and we've actually got a show, don't quote me, I think it's Brisbane, with Steel Panther and Seven Dust and a huge range of awesome Aussie acts. I think it's around about the 22nd of October. So we're going to try our best to get some sideshow dates around that, so we can get back in your faces some more.
Yep. And you mentioned before that you've been writing new music. Are you guys hoping to head back into the studio sometime soon as well?
Yeah, as soon as we can. You know, after Aussie tour, it'll be straight back into demoing songs for the new recording. So yeah, it's a priority for us. You know, we for the Red album. Even though it was 2 years ago, like we demoed 30 songs for that, and we had to trim it down to 12. So, you know, each of us lost an appendage. You know, at least you know, say, oh, this song's my baby, and it didn't make the cut for the album. So we've still got a good bank of songs to work on. Plus, everyone's been still writing new stuff, and it's feeling really good. So, yeah, it's crucial that we get back into the studio and do some more recording soon.
Yeah, and of course, Red as an album, you guys didn't really get an opportunity to get out there and play any of those tracks live. Are you excited about being able to get out there and finally play those tracks live as well?
Dave, mate, you got no idea how excited we are about it. We poured our heart and soul into that album, and it's the payoff for us is getting to play it live, you know, and it's cathartic for us too, because the songs with Bimmin, there's some deep stuff on there for us, and we need to play them live, and yeah, it was immensely frustrating just not to be able to do it, and we all feel that the album didn't get the attention it deserved because it got swallowed up by the whole worldwide pandemic plague / whatever, you know, so we're still just as excited about the album as we were the day we finished recording it, and we just, yeah, can't wait to play it live.
Definitely. Well, mate, we cannot wait to see you play live here. I think I'll wrap it up before I lose my voice completely. But, Paul, I wanted to say thank you so much for coming on the show today. It's been an absolute honour having you on the show. And what would you like to say to all of your Aussie fans out there before they go out and buy tickets for these amazing shows?
That we're going to bring the party, and we're just looking forward to some epic nights, and we want to see all of our friends back at these shows, and let's get together again, because we're all owed a big good night out. I think we've been through so much crap these last couple of years. Let's party. Let's get it on.